Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Are you ready? Parama Karuna Bahudvijan Nitai Gaurachandra
Parama Karuna Bahudvijana Nitai Gaurachandra
Shab Avatar Shad Shiramani Kevala Ananda Kanda
Sabhavatar Sarasiromani Kevala Nanda Kanda
Bhaja Bhaja Bhai Chaitanya Nitai Sudridha Vishwasha Kori
Bhajo Bhajo Bhai Chaitanya Nitai Sudhidhar Viswasakare
Vishaya Chadiya Se Rase Majiya Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari
Vishaya Chadiya Tera Se Majiya Mukhe Bolo
Hari
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 Dekha Ore Bhai Tribhuvane Nai Emono Doyalo Data
Dekha Ore Bhai Tribhuvane Nai Emone Dayala
Data
Pashu Paki Jure Pashana Vidare Shuni Jar Gunagata
Pasu Paki Jure Pachana
Vidare Suni Jar Gunagata
Sangsara Majia Rohili Podia Se Pode Nohilo Asha
Samsare
Majiya Rohile Padiya Se Pada Nahilo Asa
Apana Koroma Bhunjaye Shamana Kohoye Lochana Dasa
Apana Karana
Bhunjaye Shamana Kohoye Lochana Dasa Parama Karuna Bahudvijan Nitai Gaurachandra
Parama
Karuna
Bahudvijan Nitai Shab Avatar Shar Shiramani Kevala Ananda Kanda
Sab Avatar Sarasiromani Kevala Nanda
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajak Acharya Ashtotara Satashi Srimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai.
Jai.
ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai.
Jai.
Prem se koho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
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 Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki jai.
Jai.
Vrindavan Dham ki jai.
Jai.
Navadvip Mayapur Dham ki jai.
Jai.
Ganga Mai ki jai.
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 Jamuna Mai ki jai.
Jai.
Tulsi Devi ki jai.
Jai.
Bhakti Devi ki jai.
Jai.
Shamaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glory to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutare Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai
Jai.
Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming and attending and listening. We're reading from the Sri Caitanya Caritamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 20, which is the teaching Lord instructs Sanatana Goswami, text number 165. It's in Bengali, I think, yeah.
I'm going to put it up on the screen here. Hold on 1 second.
Yes?
All right. Hold on.
Is that Bengali? You can't.
Can you see it on the screen?
Oh, okay, yes.
Okay. Sorry. Vrindavaneshwari asked me to.
Oh, okay.
If I could do it today.
Okay.
Is it? So, okay.
No. Swayam Rupa Tad Ekatma Rupa Avesha Nam Pratame Tina Rupe Rohina Bhagavan. The Supreme Personality of Godhead exists in 3 principal forms: Swayam Rupa, Tad Ekatma Rupa, and Avesha Rupa. Purport. Srila Rupa Goswami has described Swayam Rupa in his Laghu Bhagavatamrita, Purvakanda, verse 12. Ananyapekshi yad rupam Swayam Rupa sa uchyate. The original form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not depend on other forms. The original form is called Swayam Rupa. and it is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishnastu Bhagavan Svayam, 1st Canto, 3rd Chapter, 28th verse. Krishna's original form as a cowherd boy in Vrindavan is called Swayam Rupa. It is confirmed in the Brahma Samhita, 5th chapter, 1st verse. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. There is nothing superior to Govinda. He is the ultimate source and the cause of all causes. In Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, 7th verse, the Lord says, Matta parataram nanyat. There is no truth superior to me. The Tad Ekatma Rupa is also described in the Laghu Bhagavatamrita, Purva Khanda, verse 14. Yad Rupam Tad Abhede Swarupena Virajate Akritya Dhibir Anyadrik Satit Atka Ekatma Rupaka. The Tad Ekatma Rupa forms exist simultaneously with the Swayam Rupa form and are non-different. At the same time, the bodily features and specific activities appear to be different. The Tad Ekatma Rupa is also divided into two categories, Svangsha and Vilas. His Avesha form is also explained in the Laghu Bhagavatamrita, verse 18. Jnana Shaktyadi Kalaya Yatra Vishto Janardana Ta Avesha Nigadyante Jiva Eva Mahattama. A living entity who is specifically empowered by the Lord with knowledge or strength is technically called Avesh Rupa. As stated in the Caitanya Caritamrita Antya Leela 7th chapter 11, Krishna Shakti Vina Nahe Kar Pravratan. Unless a devotee is specifically empowered by the Lord, he cannot preach the holy name of the Lord all over the world. This is an explanation of Avesh Rupa. Om Agyana Timirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We're going to follow Lord Chaitanya's teachings to Sanatan Goswami about the different expansions and avatars of Lord Krishna. In the Vedas, in the Shruti and the Smriti also, it's often said that God, the Supreme, is one without a second. In the verse that was previously quoted, it said, Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam. Advayam means one. He is one. So then here we're going to be talking about how although he's one, he is many in his different forms and incarnations. So to understand this, it won't be possible to use our speculative intelligence by trial and error and experimentation. It's not possible to understand this. The only way to understand this completely transcendental subject matter is in parampara, hearing it in disciplic succession, receiving it from the Lord himself. Who can better explain his complex existence than he himself? So this is a little bit difficult to understand, because although he's one, he can have many transcendental forms. And how can we distinguish a transcendental incarnation or transcendental form from an ordinary living entity? By Shastra and by hearing from the transcendental authorities. Therefore, in Brahma Samhita, it is said, Advaitam, Achutam, Anadim, Anantarupam. Advaita means non-dual. Advaita, Achuta, infallible. Anadi, beginningless. Anantarupam. So even though he's Advaita, he has unlimited forms. So here, I don't know if you caught it, there are three basic categories of these forms. One was
Swayam Rupa.
Swayam Rupa. Swayam Rupa means that's the original form of Krishna as a cowherd boy in Vrindavan. So here, the verse that's quoted is Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha. He's the supreme Ishvara. So within that verse, that means we can understand there's many kinds of Ishwaras. We are an Ishvara of our own body. Beyond that, there are Ishwaras within the government, and within the government of the universe, there are also Ishwaras. And beyond that, there's the spiritual world, and there are Ishwaras in every Vaikuntha planet. And beyond all of those Ishwaras, there's Ishvara Param, and that's Krishna. Satchit Ananda Vigraha. And his body is not made of material elements. His body is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. Anadir Adir Govinda. So usually the translation for that is Anadir means no beginning. Adir is the beginning. He is the beginning. And who is that? Govinda. Rupa Goswami also interprets that Sanskrit in a different way. Adir can mean the predominator. Adir in different Sanskrit. And Anadi can mean he's not predominating. How is that? In the material universes and in the spiritual universes, he's predominating, but Anadir, he's not predominating. Where? In Goloka Vrindavan, he's under the control of his devotees. So that's a different interpretation of that shloka. So this is Swayam Rupa, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then from Swayam Rupa expands, and what is that? What was that called? Yeah. Tad. Tad Ekatma. Yeah. Tad Ekatma Rupa. So, and then the Tad Ekatma Rupa, there's two kinds. Vilas and Swangsa. Vilas and Swamsa. So these are Krishna's expansions, but in these expansions, they have the form is a little bit different, and the activities are a little bit different. Even though they have pretty much the same characteristics and qualities as Krishna, they're still slightly less. In the Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami describes that these expansions of Krishna as like Narayan, Shankarshan, they have 94% of the qualities of Lord Krishna, the Swayam Roop. And there's 4 particular qualities that Swayam Roop Krishna has that the Tad Ekatma Rupa doesn't. And what are those 4 qualities?
His beauty, his pastimes, his devotees, and his Leela Rupa fruit.
Yes, so Lord Krishna attracts the whole universe by playing on his flute. We don't find that in Mahavishnu. We don't find that with Lord Ramchandra, right? Yeah. So that's one aspect of Krishna we don't find. Then of Lord Krishna. Then you mentioned he has his pastimes, but specifically they talk about his wonderful childhood pastimes, where he's being cared for by Mother Yashoda, the cowherd boys, and his dealings with the damsels of Vraja. That we don't find that anywhere else. Then his devotees, they have a special endowed with wonderful love of Godhead. That's unique to Lord Krishna. And the other one is his unparalleled beauty that's beyond the beauty of even Vishnu. So on one hand, the Brahma Samhita says, Departure eva hidashantaram abhyupetya, dipayate vivitahetu samana dharma. If you take a candle and you light that candle with another candle, take that candle and light another candle, the second candle has the same candle power as the first. Still, there's an original. And the original is?
Krishna.
Govinda, yeah. But so those other candles have practically the same candle power. So in this case, that's slightly different. And among this, so there's 2 kinds, Vilas and Swamsa. So the Vilas expansions have less potency, and the Swamsa expansion, they manifest less potency than the Vilas expansion. The example is given just like in the activities of Lord Ramchandra. So Ramchandra had three brothers. Who was Lakshman, Shatrugna, Bharata. Yeah. So Bharata is considered a Swamsa expansion. So he did, even though he was on the level of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he did not display those potencies, even though he was on that level. That's the explanation given in the Laghu Bhagavatamrita. Questions, comments, corrections?
Did we do the last one, Prabhu? Not yet.
The last one, what? Oh, Avesh. No, I didn't talk about Avesh yet.
Okay, I do have a question.
Okay.
This is talking about the incarnation, right? So when Krishna expanded as the cowherd boys and also in the Rasa Leela, that's different, right?
Well, these are all kinds of expansions, both in the spiritual world and the material world. Yeah, we're going to get, there'll be the details about this. We're going to get into. So the expansions of Krishna, where he is identical, like when he danced with each gopi in the rasa dance with an identical form, and when he expanded himself to live with all 16,108 wives in Dwarka, that expansion is called Swayam Prakash. Swayam Prakash. There's no difference at all between that form and his original form. So that's a little different here. So we don't have that category here yet.
Mhm. Okay.
So between Swamsa and Vilasa, are they both at the same level?
Yes.
And
Although, according to this information is kind of reiterated in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and it's also there in the, as Srila Prabhupada quotes, in the Lagu Bhagavatamrita, which is a summary of the points from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Sanatan Goswami wrote the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, which is a large book, and then Rupa Goswami, his younger brother, summarized that in the Lagu Bhagavatamrita, which is a summary of the Srimad Bhagavatam, so a double summary, and that's how it's explained there. Lagu Bhagavatamrita. Yeah.
you said Bharata was a Swamsa Rupa. And so who are the Vilasa Rupas?
Ramchandra, Lord Ramchandra. So Lord Ramchandra wasn't Swayam Rupa, Krishna, but he was an expansion of Krishna with different form and some different activities. Then we have the Avesh. You got the Avesh?
Mhm.
Or sometimes it's called Shakti Avesh.
Mhm.
This kind of expansion is the expansion of Krishna's potency in certain aspects, endowed for the living entity, to the living entity. For example, the four Kumaras are living entities, jiva souls, not the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but they're endowed with the knowledge, potency of the Supreme Lord. So they're considered avatars, but Shakti Avesh avatars. They're endowed with the Shakti, the knowledge potency of Krishna. Then other Shakti Avesh avatars are Parashuram. Lord Parshuram, he was an incarnation of Krishna, but he was a regular living entity, but empowered by the Lord to punish the miscreant politicians. Buddha Dev was a Shakti Avesh avatar, in the sense that he was empowered with the ability to bewilder atheists in order to get them to worship him. These are Shakti Avesh. So they're not the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but they're living entities who have special powers. Prithu Maharaj was a living entity who was empowered with the ability to rule over the citizens perfectly. Ramchandra, on the other hand, was the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, Lord Ram, and his brothers, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrugna. Yeah, different kinds of avatars. Questions, comments?
So is Vyasadev also Shakti Avesh Avatar?
Yes. Sometimes you'll find a little differences in this. For example, with Lord Buddha, because Lord Buddha appears not just in this Kali Yuga, he appears in other Kali Yugas. So sometimes he appears in as a full incarnation. It means expansion of Krishna, but not always. Usually in Kali Yuga, the incarnations in Kali Yuga are Shakti Avesh avatar, usually. That's why when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was speaking with his brother-in-law, Gopinath Acharya, he said, well, hey, in Kali Yuga, Krishna doesn't come himself, because it's generally true. It's generally true. So this particular incarnation of Lord Chaitanya is an exception, because usually in the Kali Yuga, Avesh, Shakti Avesh avatars descend. Also, Lord Chaitanya is an exception to the rule, being Swayam Rup Krishna himself. Questions?
And Srila Prabhupada will be?
Yes. So, just from that, we were anybody who is a person who is empowered and to spread the holy name all over the world, they must be empowered by Krishna. So in that sense, they're Shakti Avesh avatar. Srila Prabhupada and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also identified Lord Jesus Christ as a Shakti Avesh avatar as well. So he's not, he's not God, but he's an empowered living entity, who a good son of God, who's empowered by the Lord to teach devotional service at a particular time and place. Okay. Other questions?
Imagine that this, the process of determining who's a Shakti Avesh avatar and who isn't could be, I guess, a little controversial. What is the best way? How do we, if we left it up to our own judgment, that could be, we're subject to the 4 defects of a human being. So in making that determination, like if we talked with other maths or different sampradayas, I'm sure they would have a list of the people that they felt were Shakti Avesh avatars or acharyas that came in the past that made a contribution. Do you see that being a difficulty?
Well, if you, when Rupa Goswami in his Lagu Bhagavatamrita introduces this subject, he first emphasizes the importance of citing the scriptures, Shruti and Smriti, to support any understanding of who's an incarnation. So that's the first step. It's not done by a popular vote, but by reference to Shruti and Smriti. Then, in addition to that, there has to be symptoms. And quite often, people are put forward as incarnations or of God, but if you examine what they teach, it's radically different from what's taught in Bhagavad Gita. So that's another way to distinguish things. For Lord Chaitanya, there are so many Vedic references for his appearance that are quoted in Caitanya Caritamrita and elsewhere. And not only that, but we've been reading Caitanya Caritamrita, and we note that whatever Lord Chaitanya says, it's backed up. I mean, the basic philosophy is the exact same as is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Here we're going a little bit further, and with the incarnations, and what Lord Chaitanya he's citing briefly, backing up these statements here in this part of Caitanya Caritamrita, but then he instructed Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami to take these statements and support them with voluminous Vedic references. Therefore, Srinivasa Acharya said, Nana Shastra Vichara Naikanipano Sadharma Sangstapako. He said, you go to the mine of the Vedas and you pick out you find those portions that support Sat Dharma, the eternal Dharma that he explained. So that's my answer. What do you think?
Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. This is quite interesting stuff here. And so because it's a little bit difficult for my material mind to understand all these things, how can a person who's one supreme, we say there's one God, but then you have all these incarnations of God. So one way to try to simplify it is to say that, well, all those incarnations are not really important. They're all different manifestations of a supreme Brahma that has no form, which is the direction of the impersonalists go. But that's not what is mentioned here by Lord Chaitanya, and in the disciplic succession from the Lord himself. That's not what we find. So it's a little bit tough to understand. Text 166.
Krishna Prabhuji are not pronounced. No.
Oh,
Prabhuji,
we're not hearing. Yes, oh, you have a question?
yeah, Prabhuji, I have just for the clarification, Prabhuji. So, and the name, Krishna name itself, name and the Puranas like Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, which category it will come, Prabhuji? Like these will be also falling in this, like Krishna name itself is non different than Krishna. So is
Yes.
it Swayam Rupa or which category it will come out of these three?
Oh, his name, yeah, Swayamrup, his same. His name, his form, his qualities, they're all in the same category, yeah. Thank you, good question. Text 166. I'm not, yeah,
Can you hear me now?
yes.
Swayam Roop, Swayam Prakash, Dui Rupe Spurti, Swayam Rupe Akrishno, Braje Gopmurti.
The original form of the Lord, Swayamrup, is exhibited in two forms, Swayamrup and Swayam Prakash. His original form as Swayamrup, Krishna is observed as a cowherd boy in Vrindavan. So you remember what the Swayam Prakash was? Anybody?
The empower?
No. Swayam Prakash was when Lord Krishna expands himself exactly identically to do certain things, like when he was expanded himself to live with all the 16,108 wives. That was Swayam Prakash. Okay.
Expanded himself when he went to each house of the coward, when Lord Brahma stole all the coward boys and the cows. Is that the same thing?
Well, a good question. Very good question. My understanding would be, even though it's not described here specifically, because his form is a little different in all those cases, it's not going to be Swayam Prakash. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But again, it's not mentioned here, so I could be wrong. One of the things that the Tad Ekatma Rupa is that there's a difference in his a little bit different in his form and his activities. So the form of theirs is different. Although, well, get this one, this is a little different. You know, when Lord Krishna first appeared in the prison house of Kamsa, what form did he take?
Four-armed Vishnu form.
Four-armed Vishnu form. Although that's also was also accepted as a Swayamrupa. So that's why I hedge my bets. Even because then as soon as he was requested by Vasudeva and Devaki, he went to the baby form Krishna. So we'll it's a little tricky. Okay. Next verse.
Prabho Boibhav Rupe, Dvibid Prokashe, Ak Bopu Bohurup, Joiche Hoile Rashe.
In his original form, Krishna manifests himself in two features, Prabhava and Vaibhava. He expands his one original form into many, as he did during the rasa dance. Next.
মহিষী বিবাহে হইল বহুবিধ মূর্তি প্রাভব প্রকাশ এই শাস্ত্র পরসিদ্ধি.
When the Lord married 16,108 wives at Dwarka, he expanded himself into many forms. These expansions and the expansions of the rasa dance are called prabhava prakash, according to the directions of revealed scriptures. So we talked about as Swayam Prakash. So there's two categories of Swayam Prakash, Prabhava and Vaibhava. Text 169.
শোভর জাতি প্রায় সেই কায় বুহ নয়, কায় বুহ হইলে নারদের বিস্ময় না হয়.
The Prabhava Prakash expansions of Lord Krishna are not like the expansions of the sage Shaubhari. Had they been so, Narada would not have been astonished to see them. You understand this?
Yeah, I read the story also.
Okay. Sudevi, you want to explain that? Sudevi, Mother Sudevi?
If I understood correctly, Sobari Muni, when he came out of the water here, he wanted to marry all those princesses and he expanded himself, into so many. But it's not exactly like Krishna's expansion.
In what way wasn't it like his?
Because Krishna, like a couple of verses earlier, was like he was the same in the rasa dance and with the queens in Dwarka, but this yogi, he can't be the same as Krishna. He just has some mystic power, and that's
Yes.
like Narada.
Yes. So a yogi who can expand himself or herself into different, I think it's up to 8 forms. They have to be, each form is like a copy or a reflection of the original form. They can't do different things. So if the original form does one thing, all the other forms are doing the same thing. So when Narada went to examine or meet the Lord Krishna in his different palaces with different wives, he noted that in each palace, Lord Krishna was doing different things, 8 of 16,108. So it wasn't like the mirror reflections done by Shaubhari Muni. And Narad, because Narad is also an empowered person, and he has yogic mystic powers too. He knows about these things. So he was astonished because Lord Krishna had done each of those expansions, was acting independently differently. Does that make sense?
If that is the case, then in the Brahma Vimochan Leela also, you will have to say that it is a Prabhava Prakash, because he looks different, but that's because every child was, or every calf was different. And they were all doing different things, just like the husbands of the 16,108 wives.
Yes, but they didn't look like Lord Krishna. Anyway, as I said, because it's not specifically mentioned here what kind of expansions they are, I can't make a conclusion about that. I admit my ignorance. We can make the argument that way though, and I hear what you're saying. So there's some ways that and later when Lord Brahma came back and saw the same cowherd boys that he thought he had hidden away in a cave, he did a double take, and then he looked back and they were all Lord Vishnu forms with 4 arms. So that was unusual. But anyway, I can't make a conclusion because I don't know where it's stated. I haven't found it stated that way. This is, like I said, this is all on the completely transcendental level. The only way we can actually understand it is by receive knowledge from the perfect source. Okay. Should we do one more verse? Oh, is this?
That sounds good.
Chitram batayetad ekena vapusha yugapat pritak griheshu dvashta sahasram striya eka udavahat. Translation. It is astounding that Lord Shri Krishna, who is one without a second, expanded himself into similar forms to marry 16,000 queens in their respective homes. This verse, let's see. This verse is spoken by Narad Muni in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 69th chapter, 2nd verse. Okay, thank you very much, Prabhus. Any other statement, question, comment? Dronacharya Prabhu?
Tomorrow morning, Balabhadra Prabhu is scheduled to give Srimad Bhagavatam class.
Okay.
So I just wanted to announce that to the devotees. Please tune in tomorrow morning. And also, we've been offering prayers for the speedy recovery of His Holiness Bhakti Churu Maharaj. I wanted to just give a quick update. I saw this yesterday. It says the progress is slow toward the next goal of getting Maharaj off the ventilator, but that is always expected. This is from his care team. I guess that's with him in the hospital or nearby. Certain fluctuations in parameters are expected during this process. Maharaj's blood pressure and heart rate are stable. As previously mentioned, in moving towards the next milestone, the next 24 hours are critical and crucial. We request humbly to intensify our prayers with intent for His Holiness Bhakti Churu Maharaj. That's all it says. The next update will come in 12 hours. Vishnu Prabhu, is there anything you would like to say or chant? Maybe Nrsingadev prayers or something else?
Sure, we could do Nrsinga prayers. Sudevi, Mother Sudevi had a good introduction for that. Are you there, Mother Sudevi, still?
Yes, Prabhu, I'm here.
Could you give the introduction to that? You did a nice job yesterday.
I was just remembering to, when Srila Prabhupada was not well and he asked the devotees, you can pray, my dear Lord Krishna, if you so desire, please help Bhakti Charu Swami get better. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Good. Thank you. Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Pralada Lada Dayine.
Lada Dayine.
Caitanya Kashipur Bhakshaha. Shila Tanka Nakalaye. Ito Nrisingha Parato Nrisingho. Jato Jato Jami Tato Nrisingha. Vahi Nrisingho Hridaye Nrisingho. Nrisingham Sharanam Prapadye. Tava Kamala Bade Nakam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanuvringam Keshavadrita Nara Harirupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Tava Kara Kamala Varirangam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Lingam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Nrsimhadev ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you all very
Hare
much.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Thank you,
Hare
Param.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyascha.
Vasindu
Dana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dev.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.